falling up. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head.
Hey, hello, I'm JulieJo. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. You can hit the like button if you enjoy the video. I do videos on scams, multi-level marketing companies, which we're going to be doing today, religious cults, and things of that nature where we're breaking down manipulation. And if you like that kind of stuff, you can also subscribe. If you want to get notified when I post, you can hit the bell button, and also when I go live, that'll tell you. If you're not new here, welcome back. Today, we're going to be looking at someone we haven't looked at. However, we have looked at this person's direct downline. She calls herself Mama Dark Horse. I will try to remember to put the video up here. I recommend going and watching that. It's a great video. And we're going to be looking at her, Mama Dark Horse's upline, who just left Lime Life. I have not read through anything. We're going to read her, I guess, exit post. I don't know what you call it. Her I'm leaving post, and then we're gonna watch her video, and her video's called Here We Go, New Chapter, Next Level, Here's the Best Way to Contact Me, and it's gonna tell us her new MLM, which, by the way, is, well, you want to guess? I'll let you guess, and then we'll see if you got it. I don't think you'll guess, though. I really don't. It's not like a big one. People know of it, but it's not like one that I think that someone would quit Lime Life to go to, but we'll see. Let's watch. Let's look at her exit post. I don't know what you'd call it. I will read this post to you. Her name is Jenny Evans. She says, "Dearest Facebook fam, coworkers, industry friends, customers, and those I don't even know on a personal level, but have cheered me on. I never dreamed this day would come, but it's time for me to close a door that I've been trying to keep open for quite some time. After building and leading a top 5 team in the company for 6.5 years, my chapter of building at Lime Life by Alcone is closing. It's been an extremely private and emotional 8 weeks as I've come to terms with this decision and processed everything it means. Thank you to the ones who have sensed my seclusion and taken the time to check in, and ones who gave me space and time to process. At the end of the day, I'm driven by my heart, brain, and gut. What you see is what you get. God didn't give me the ability to fake my feelings or tiptoe around the truth just to appease others. It drains me and paralyzes me, and I want no part in it. When I no longer align, I know that it's time for me to change paths." I get this idea that, when you don't align with something anymore, you want to change paths, which is what I did with the church when I had, my master's degree, and I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. However, knowing that it leads her to another MLM, you're not actually changing paths, you're just switching an MLM. That's it. Likely you're going to get paid more at the other MLM, and that's why you went there. I've been nudged by my heart numerous times and chose to shrug it off in hopes that things would align again. I chose ignorant bliss to save my heart from moving forward without the team and leaders I've had the full honor and privilege of helping to build this incredible team with. Out of respect for people I care deeply for, I will not create a space on my social media for bashing. We're all mature enough to know that everyone has their own realities and reasonings for choices they make. And at the end of the day, that's their business, no one else's. I will say I've grown immensely and gained so much knowledge while being a leader here. I've leveled up in multiple areas of my business and my life. I wish nothing but the best of success for those still building with Lime Life. I never intended on this being a stepping stone to my next direction, but at the end of the day, my mission has never changed. I'm here to show women their worth, motivate them to achieve goals they never dreamed they could achieve, and an option to better their financial situation in a massive way. Again, and I say again, just because I think I've said it about 1 million times in my life, so I guess it's not again on this video. MLMs are not a great way to have a better financial life. MLMs are not a great way to have a better financial situation. The Federal Trade Commission and even Lime Life's own income disclosure statement shows us that the majority of people don't even profit. And Lime Life's one of those that, and it makes me so mad, same with Beauty Society and a few others, that pay you more often in, like, let's say like beauty bucks, right? Let's call them like beauty bucks. It's like a part of the company and you get money to spend on your product, not in your pocket. And I'm like, they literally do everything they can to not pay their people who are consultants for them. And I'm like, if you're going to give them something, at least give them something that they can choose where they want to put it, because it's only available for a lot of them in money to buy product on the website more often than like commission in their pocket. In order for me to do that, I need to be aligned with a brand that can give me peace of mind that it is, in fact, a good opportunity for them. So she's kind of throwing Lime Life under the bus right there, saying that she no longer believes that Lime Life is a good opportunity. Straight up. She's trying to like beat around the bush, but that's what she means. I mean, it's pretty straightforward when you think about it. After giving myself time and space to work through my feelings and emotions, I'm so excited for what's next. I'm not done. Explosion. I have so much fire inside that's been waiting to bust out. I felt paralyzed for long enough. Fire. My link will remain open for the time being for any of my customers who would like to order, and I know some were wanting to snag some of the holiday collections that just launched. Though I've had peace and excitement with this decision for a while, the last thing I wanted was to throw a disruption in the mix of my team during their biggest month of the year. I took my precious time on researching what the best brand to partner with would be. I need a company that will be prepared for massive growth, sustainable, prepared to pay their partners their worth, and a CEO with a vision that aligned with mine. This was not a by chance opportunity. This was an extremely important and strategic choice. The money that goes into my pocket is irrelevant if I don't believe the company is making choices that highly benefit the field. Here's the deal with that. That's a lie. The money matters most. If you're not going to switch to another MLM that's going to pay you less, there's just no way. There's absolutely no way. No way in hell. So sure, maybe you want them to be aligned and benefit the field highly, but the money is the most important part. In my opinion, when I look at people in MLMs, when I look at how they do things, saying that is usually what they say, but in reality, it's because they're getting paid more. I have so much peace and faith in my decision, and I can't wait to share what that is. Stay tuned. Growth to the grave. Okay, so that was what she wrote. Now let's watch her video. I'm going to have to share my screen, but I think we will get through this together. I am going to speed it up to maybe 1.25 or 1.5 if I think it's like slow enough.
Hey y'all, hey, happy Sunday. Well, I will be honest, I have put this bad boy off, this live here, for about as long as I could put it off, for sure. I'm a little shaky. I'm a little shaky and I have my wine, so if you want to shame me, but listen, it is what it is. This has been, this has been a lot on me, and I am like a social media I'm going to call myself a social media professional at this point. I've worked in this industry and learned how to grow my network and add value to people's lives, learn how to use my social media to expand my business and all that goes into that.
No hate for anyone who calls himself a social media professional, but you have to prove it. You didn't grow your business through social media. You grew your business using social media a little bit, but then your downline continued to grow your business, and then they continue to grow your business, and then that, I mean, it's like, goes down like this, right? From small, she's up at the top, all the way down to so many at the bottom. Like, sure, she'll post about stuff, but she's not the one who exploded her business necessarily. It was the success of her directs and then just the downline they built out of it. And again, she's been in it for 6.5 years, for a very long time, since the birth of Lime Life. Sure, she's good at social media. We can give her that. I don't know what her Instagram's like. I think she has a pretty decent following. It's 20K on Instagram, which is all right. And her Facebook, I think, has a really large following, but honest to God, I don't really count Facebook. However, I wouldn't consider her a professional. She hasn't shown me she's a professional in any way, shape, or form. I mean, anyone who tries hard and puts in the effort can grow a 20,000 person Instagram. They just can. And if you have a Facebook for long enough, you can grow a pretty big following there too. I think that to be a professional, I mean, you'd have to be helping others do the same thing or teaching on it and then it be successful. I don't know. I just think that's weird. I'm not to dog on her. I just think that's weird that she called herself that. Don't forget to leave your commentary on her video below.
Now, 7.5, 8 years, and I'm coming to you live with no good lighting. And I almost let it get me. I opened up this package of this light that I found. It's like a cheap ring light style. It's a content creator package, and but I would call it like an off brand. And I got it on the Amazon Prime deal. Say hi, Gates. Say hi. I got it on the Amazon Prime deals, and I forgot that I shipped it to this house in Natchitoches and not to my house in Shreveport. So when we got here, I was like, oh, that'll be perfect. I'll use it to go live. And this one chewed up the charger cord for it. So it's holding my phone great, but it's not a good light. So it's not a light at all. So you're getting all the shadows and all the things. But I decided, you know what? I'm here. Y'all accept me for who I am. I know you all do. And I just got to get this done. So, you know, Andrea, it's nobody's business. I get your point on that, but at the same time, I've made my life public on here. I've made my business public. I've worked my business and grown my business through social media, and it is kind of other people's business. In reality, I've made it other people's business. And so I do think that it's important that I come on here and share my heart. And if I'm going to be willing to share all of my ups, all my successes, all of my giant accolades, then I think that I owe it to my followers to also come here really vulnerable in spaces where my heart's pounding out of my chest and I'm scared. Yeah, thank you, Andrea. I do get what you're saying. You know, I thought that I was in a space, or I still pretty much feel like I'm in a space where I'm all cried out, and this is not going to be a Kim Kardashian ugly cry live. I refuse to allow that to be the case, because in all honesty, at this point, it's been several months of processing for me, and I'm really excited about what's coming and all that's already transpired and all of those things. But even still, I feel like it's part of, you know, my job to give a little bit of background for those who are interested. A lot of people have followed me through my journey with Lime Life and my growth and my success and our team and all the things that happen. And so this is, you know, a piece of that story that I really never thought would come, but it's here, and it's okay. You know, I've learned, I had a lot of faith for a lot of years in saying that I never would move on to a different spot, a different company. But that wasn't enough to hold me where I was. That wasn't enough to just lean on and say, like, this is what it is, because I've said that I'll never go somewhere else. At the end of the day,
once Lime Life came out with their new compensation plan, quite a few people moved, including Brooke Ashley Banks. If you don't know Brooke Ashley Banks, you got to watch some of my videos because they're pretty wild. This emotion, I believe it's partly true. I believe, you know, I don't think she's like lying or faking it, but the reason she's leaving, she will not say. And I'm going to tell you why. It's the compensation plan. It's a new compensation plan. They're not able to make as much money. It's not very good. And it just, you saw a lot of top leaders dip. And what this is telling me, like, you know, the timing and everything that went with it is she's not making as much money as she either, one, anticipated on making by this time, or two, was making. And that's a problem for her. And I think that she's got to go somewhere else to do it. I believe that it is firmly about money, and it is about income. It is about her bank account. That's what it is. Because if she was banking in Lime Life, doing exactly how she thought she was going to do, prospering, she wouldn't be leaving. But the new compensation plan really, I think, screwed some people over.
My mission has always remained the same. And I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. I've made it really clear that beauty is not my passion. It's not. Like, makeup and skincare and anything beauty is not my passion. That's just not me, and that's okay. Everyone has their own thing. My passion is making money for my family. My passion is showing that we are capable of really hard things. My passion is growing. My passion is helping other women see their worth, find their self-confidence, and find a way to financially impact their family on a massive level. And I have to stay true to that. I have to stay true to those things.
That's interesting, because I didn't even have to go on the little spiel I just went on. She just told us it was about money. Just now, she's telling us it's about money. I actually think the new Lime Life compensation plan was even a little better for people lower at the bottom. So that's also how I know that she's not in it for people to grow, like new people to come in and grow, or people who are at the bottom ranks to grow. She's in it for her and her direct leaders to grow, but mostly for her. And I can't remember all the things that she said. Let me see if I can go back in here a little bit. I think I heard the things I wanted to comment on.
Find their self-confidence and find a way to financially impact their family on a massive level. And I have to stay true to that. I have to stay true to they are capable of really hard things. My passion is growing. My passion is helping other women see their worth, find their self-confidence, and find a way to financially impact their family on a massive level.
All in all, she's said what I said a while ago, and she's kind of admitted it without admitting it. What is interesting to me is the fact that she said makeup, beauty products, that stuff is not her passion. I wonder if people watching this, because there's some people in her comments who are like, beauty was your passion though. And she's like, no, it wasn't. I wonder if she said that before. Like, this is my passion. This is what I love doing. I love Line Life. I love selling beauty products. Like, I love working with this company, blah, blah, blah. I think most top leaders do say that kind of thing. But I have a feeling that she's done that. And maybe some of her downlines like, wait, how is this not your passion when you've said it? Haven't been there, haven't heard her say it. But just reading a few of the comments, I kind of got that, vibe that that's what was happening.
And I have to stay true to that. I have to stay true to those things, or I'm showing up inauthentic. And if there's one thing that I think we can all agree on the last couple months, is if I'm not fully aligned with where I'm at, if the vision isn't there, if I don't feel like I'm authentically in a space where I can show up for the things that are important to me, my mission, then my defense mechanism is to recluse. My defense on that, or the way that I show up, is to hide. Because if I can't show up and speak my truth, if I can't show up and be really real and honest, then I can't show up at all, especially if it's required that I kind of tiptoe around the truth. So this, I want to be really clear, when I said that I'm scared and I'm shaky, it is in no way fear of the future. I know what my future looks like.
Just from her saying that, I wonder if she got a bridge contract. What do y'all think? Let me know. Do you think that she got a bridge contract, or do you just think she just, honestly, that's even funny for me to say. I think she did. I think she did. You can tell me if you actually know, feel free to comment below. Maybe she didn't, but with that comment, with her saying that, it tells me something like she's covered. She's good. And with that, makes me think bridge contract.
I know what my future looks like, and it's beautiful. My fear comes from more of not wanting to hurt people that I love very much. And my shakiness comes from trying to stay in a space that doesn't hurt people that I love very much. I'm not going to ignore the fact that I know that I have, a little bit of influence. I know that I have a little bit of influence that could potentially hurt others. And that's just really not, I will turn this live off before I allow myself to get to that space. So it's a balance. It's a balance that's growing me. My mom would say your character is growing right now, because to speak my truth would probably hurt some people. And that's not why I'm here. So I would love to focus on what's next.
Okay, I'm catching a drift of maybe she had some kind of fallout with Lime Life, or she got very upset at Lime Life or something. My guess, the new comp plan, and they just wouldn't budge. I'm not sure, but that's kind of what I'm catching. Something happened. She knows that if she says something, she could ruin their downline. I kind of wish she would say it. Luna's got some woo-woos going on because Dad just got home. So you might hear her woo. She woo. She's part husky. So let's keep listening. But I think something happened between her and Lime Life.
And how I came to this choice. And, one second, let me think of how to word this. I mentioned in my email, for those who signed up, that this process wasn't quick. When I came to Lime Life from my previous company, it was quick. It was quick. It was fast. It was fast.
Okay, so she was in another company. Well, she's a serial MLM jumper at this point, number 3. So, yeah, I don't know. How many do you think is considered a serial MLM jumper? I don't know, maybe 3. Once they hit their 3rd company, it's like, oh, they're a jumper. But she did stay in this for 6.5 years, so maybe she's not. Also, it's starting to rain, so I'm sorry if you hear it. There's nothing I can do about that. Is she bringing my Southern out? I think she is. I am from West Texas, and I've worked hard to make my Southern accent go away, but here we are. I think it's coming out a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think a serial MLMer is? What would you consider, certain amount of time, certain amount of MLMs? I don't know. Also, this kind of shows me that she's totally fine jumping MLMs. It's a big change, and change is scary, and not necessarily a bad way all the time, but it is. And so I can tell that some of this is real emotion, but I also think that she's not really worried about it. She's fine with jumping. She's done it before. She'll do it again. I'm sure she'll do it again. Once that company's not making her enough money, she'll jump again.
It was, I knew immediately, like, this is it. I got to jump. It's time. This is my next vehicle to get to where, you know, to get me closer to where I wanted to go. And with this decision, because I had so many really close relationships with people that I freaking love, like I love them with everything I have. It was a much, much harder choice. And it's not out of fear of failure. And it's not out of fear that this is the right thing. It is making a choice, right? Like actually being the one to make the choice, because I could have chosen to stay. It was making a choice. Like I am in control of this choice, and I'm saying I'm going to make this choice to move somewhere different. And knowing that, you know, a lot of the people that I love so much and love doing business with wouldn't have the same choice, didn't have the same feelings, were very happy with where they were. And so that is what was this so hard about this. I knew it needed to be done. And it's not even worth it to say when. I knew. What is important is that, you know, I had to come to terms with it on my own time and process it on my own time, and eventually make the decision that, you know, in order for me to grow and get to a space where like my goal is, the choice had to be made. And so I see some names in the comments. I see some names in the comments, and I'll probably swipe over in a minute because I do think it would get me. But, you know, gosh. The people that I've surrounded myself with over the last 6.5 years are really incredible people. And I truly, above anything else in this live, would like to just acknowledge how thankful I am to have had that space.
I'm going to give her some props here, because a lot of times what I see when people leave companies is the person leaving is like kind of goes balls to the wall. It's just like, I didn't like her. I didn't like this. Obviously don't say it like that, but they'll like nudge it, right? She's saying that everyone she's around was great. You know, she's not dissing on anyone, which I respect, other than the company itself. Also, I don't know if I said or she said, but the company she's going to is Bellamy. Bellamy. So if you know anything about Bellamy, let us know below.
And I realize now that it was a chapter, even though forever I wouldn't acknowledge that. I just feel really blessed and thankful to have had that space. And for many of them, you know, I will still have that space. It'll be different. It'll be different. And change, I don't do good with change. Every time we move houses, like, I'm reminded that I do not do well with change. But at the end of the day, my mission has never changed. And, you know, I had to come around to the fact that I had to make a hard choice. Am I going to stay where I am because of my community and the friends that I have? Or am I going to hope and pray that they, you know, support me in my choice? And I think that a lot of them get it. I think that a lot of them fully understand. I think that a lot of them just see potential where I might not have, or just haven't processed, or we look at things in a just different light. Like I said in my original post, everyone has their own realities. And that's one of the things that I learned in life that I'm really thankful that I can carry on.
So she's saying that the people who are staying don't see the same way that she does, in the sense that maybe they see that they're making money. So what she just talked about with maybe they see it differently than me, maybe they haven't, you know, processed it yet. She's talking about why they're still there. She's saying maybe they haven't processed the fact that the new income disclosure statement's bad, and that she's saying maybe they haven't processed the fact that they're not making as much money, or that there are better options out there. You know, maybe they whatever see something where she doesn't. But she's really, you know, in the kindest way possible, kind of given a lot of shit to the company of Lime Life. And I find that really interesting. I want to ask you though, what are your thoughts on Bellamy versus Lime Life? I don't think Bellamy's better. I mean, I know a lot more about Lime Life than Bellamy, so if you know a lot about either of them, or some about either of them, feel free to let us know.
With me, because it's helped me to understand different perspectives in a whole new level. So with all of that being said, when making my so, you know, the process, I had to come to terms with, like, you know, I mentioned in my email that I took a minute over the summer to really try to envision my future with the company that I was with. And it was the first time that it really, at the end of the day, when I really processed, I just didn't see my future being very far anymore, whenever previously I didn't see an end. And as far as growth and potential and what I wanted to accomplish, what I wanted to be able to offer others, you know, there's a lot of things, and there's no need to fill in blanks here. I'm not, there's no hidden message. It truly just was, can you see very far with where you're at? And I've always been able to say yes until over the summer when I just had a really hard talk with myself and had to start processing the fact that I no longer see very far into the future with where I was. So I had to process that and, you know, just try to figure out, like, am I done? Okay. So like, if I am no longer really bringing this to people with all of this hope that I once had, like, am I done? Is this me stepping out, or am I going to move on to something else? And
here's how I know that she didn't actually come to terms with the fact that the company, the people aren't going to be successful in the company. That happens to a lot of us who end up leaving MLM completely, because we realize, oh, so I was successful, but they're not going to be. It's just something that hits you. It's like you go to a crossroads, right? So you're walking down the one-way street, walk. That's what I'm doing. I'm walking. And then there's a crossroads. And it's like, oh, so now you see that most people aren't going to even profit. And the one that says most people aren't going to profit, there's also another one that says the same thing. Oh, so now you see most people aren't going to profit. So you have these two roads. One of them is keep on going, keep on trucking, act like they will, and you will make a lot of money. The other one is leave. Go, knowing that you did the right thing. And I think it's all money for her. I don't think it's because she doesn't think people will be successful in Lime Life. I think it's because she wasn't making the money that she wanted to make. Because if she came to that crossroads and she decided to stay but move an MLM, that's not good. That's still bad. So for me, it wasn't, oh, I saw that like there wasn't anything left for me, and that, you know, maybe those, like she said earlier, maybe those, my downline hasn't processed it yet, you know, that they need to leave type of thing. I think that it's her not making money, and not the fact that she realized that people weren't going to do well. Because in Lime Life, people have never done well. The majority of people have never done well. That's always been a part of Lime Life with their income disclosure statements. The majority, nada, not very good. So that is another reason I think that that's a bit of a stretch for her. I don't think, I truly, and I've said this already multiple times, probably in the last few seconds, that I don't believe that she believes it's because most people won't do well in Lime Life. I think it's because her bank account could be better.
Have so much fire left in me. I have so much just fire burning, and I'm not done. I lost my spark, I lost my inspiration and my hope, but it's there. And so I really started breaking some stuff down in terms of, you know, what would I want? What do I need to feel like the future is like there for long term, you know?
You know what I find interesting with what she just said? She felt like, you know, her inspiration was gone and her spark was gone or whatever, something like that. If her downline told her that, if someone in her downline, if Mama Dark Horse told her that, you know what she'd probably do? Find a way to fix it. She'd probably be like, well, maybe it's just your negative thoughts. Those are just negative thinking. Like, you need to, you know, start from the beginning, kind of like redo, refresh, but don't leave. Like, I don't believe that she would be open to people leaving in the way that she is. I don't know her, but I'm also just generalizing her in the whole of all top leaders. You know, they all vary, but overall, you wouldn't want one of your direct downline legs to leave you. And for her, I don't think she would be fine with them leaving. I don't think that she would feel the way that she's saying other people are feeling about her leaving, because then that just makes Mama Dark Horse or whoever the next one at the very top. So her leaving it is a big deal, but it's not as big of a deal as if one of her direct large legs left. I don't think she would be reacting in this kind way that she's expecting other people to react. I don't know. Let me know what you think.
And so I needed a company that had a really great compensation plan. I love that some have assumed that this makes me greedy, but that's okay. I know for me to be able to offer the opportunity to a mom who I know is going to be having to take a lot of time away from her family to make this work, I need to know that the opportunity I'm offering her is 100% going to be worth it. Otherwise, I cannot show up and lead. I cannot show up and push and motivate somebody to hustle and grind and make it because it's going to be worth it in the end if I don't fully believe that.
Being in a multi-level marketing company and moving from MLM to MLM and moving because of money, all of that makes you greedy. Now, do I think that moving a job or switching jobs because of money makes you greedy? No, absolutely not. That's smart. Do I think of doing it with multi-level marketing companies makes you greedy? Yes. Why? Because the majority of people below you aren't going to make money. And she's saying it's a Limelife problem and not a multi-level marketing problem. It's a multi-level marketing problem. And if she is a top leader in her position, she likely knows that. She knows it, but she's not going to say it. She's going to say, oh, it was Limelife, not MLM in general. No, it was MLM. Oh, goodness. She's going to try to make people, she's kind of bashing Limelife. I mean, she definitely is bashing Limelife, but she's doing it in a way that could make someone just think about it and go, maybe I should get out then. This is kind of nervous. Like, it's making me nervous. Is this a bad idea? She's kind of being a little, like, I get trying to be honest, without bashing stuff. But like, when you do things like this, you might as well just be straight up front, because she's saying Limelife is a bad business opportunity without just straight up using those words. Insinuation is what she's doing. She's insinuating that it is a bad business opportunity. So she's making people think, right? She's making them go, should I leave? Like, blah, 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 blah. That also can be kind of a shitty thing to do, especially for your downline, because maybe there are people in her downline that, she has big legs that are now going to be moved up to the very top. And a lot of the people below them might go, oh, listen, Jenny left, I'm leaving. She said it was bad. She said that people will have a better chance over here. Did she say those words directly? Not necessarily, but she insinuates it.
So I had to make sure that the compensation plan was going to be above average. I had to make sure that the product quality was going to be incredible. When I left my first company, it was fully based on product quality, 100%. I no longer could offer those to my clients and customers, and that was my one and only reason for leaving. I found a lot of other great things that were about Limelife that I didn't originally know, but product quality wasn't there with the first company. Second company, it was. And I can still say that Limelife has incredible products. But I knew that I had to have a company that I felt like the products were also incredible. So we've got compensation plan, we've got product quality. And the other thing that I needed to know was that it was being led and ran by a CEO and, corporate team that I truly felt like could sustain and help my growth and my team's growth. I wanted to know that they were prepared for growth. I wanted to know that they had systems in place and things in place that were going to push the growth. I wanted to know that, when I brought people in, that they were fully prepared and ready to be able to support, sustain, and push those people's businesses even further. And so those were three really important things to me. I decided to join Bellamy, which is a beauty brand. So we do skincare and makeup. This company fit all of my checklist of requirements. And I will be really honest, I bought products in July when I was in my feelings and all of my emotions. And the box came in and I decided to not open it. We had our company convention within a couple weeks, and I was just really trying to stay the course, find my spark again. I didn't want to be distracted. I didn't want to like the products and be like, well, dang, now what do I have left to hang on to other than.
So first off, she was already distracted. She bought the products. They were at her home. So she was already distracted by it. Another thing is, this is the reason a lot of MLMs don't want you using other products. Because if you find another product that you like more, you're not going to continue to use that MLM product that you're selling or whatever. So they're going to push for you to use their products only and only recommend their products. Now, I bet you money a lot of people in other MLMs don't use all of their products like they say that they do and use other products, but lie about it. But like I said, I experienced that. In Arbonne, they did not want us to use other products. They wanted to switch all of our products to Arbonne products and not try other stuff. There was one time I even posted about a multivitamin that I liked, and my upline was like, hey, we have a multivitamin. You should just be using Arbonne's. I was like, solid. All right. So that's just an example from my experience. If you have one like that, let me know below.
In the community and the friendships, I wanted to just put that on hold. I wanted to go to the convention. I wanted to be invested, and I was really just trying hard to find my belief and find that spark and inspiration and hope that this is going to be long term. I can see further into the future. So I think that our convention was great, and that it's not like there's anything in our convention that made this decision. It just, over time, I never found, I was never able to refine what I was looking for to be, back in a space of, I'm not sure that belief is the right word, but just back in a space of feeling like that was home. So, we got home, and over the next couple months, there were ups, there were downs, there were happy, there were lows. There was nothing that was just like this, you know, automatic one thing that really just drew the line and this is it, I got to go. It was just my eyes being open in a different light. And so I started dabbling in the products one by one. I started literally with the primer because in my mind, it was like the primer's not a make or break it thing. Like I can try the primer. It's okay. And anytime now somebody asks me what they should try first, I recommend the primer because it really blew my mind with how great it was. And then it was like the liquid eyeliner because I am a big liquid eyeliner person. And then it was like the skincare. So like I dabbled my way through, you know, one product every other week kind of thing until September hit. And no need for background details, but September was a really emotional low month, emotionally low on other things. But that really pushed me to dive into the compensation plan with this company. And what I found was a little bit mind blowing.
So I'm guessing it was low on money, low on other things. My guess, right? She's not saying it is, but I'm guessing she might have been low on money. And that's when she was like, yeah, something's got to give.
What I found was the answer I was looking for 100%. You know, I'd already decided that I liked the products. I'd already seen a few sneak peeks at what's coming in the future and had the peace of mind that, you know, the growth was there, that, you know, the things coming and the excitement behind all of it and the opportunity for somebody brand new. Like really at the end of the day, that's something that I'm really focused on is knowing that I've been doing this for, you know, 6.5, 8 years. If you go all the way back to when I first joined my first company, which was Unique, I've been doing this for 8 years. And so I've spent 8 years building my network and learning how to be, you know, a leader and a mentor, learning how to do this. But for somebody brand new, I needed to know that when I enroll them and I'm their mentor and I'm their sponsor and I'm here to help them get going, I need to know that their future is really bright. I need to know that with their effort and their coachability, they have the ability to soar. And I found that here.
What she's saying is what we see on Limelife's income disclosure statement. The majority of people don't profit. That's what she's saying. But she knew that. She's known that. I think, here's my thought. The compensation plan hit and it hurt her bank account. I don't think it's because of newbies not being able to rank up. Limelife's always been that way. It's actually maybe even a little better than it used to be by dollars. Maybe not. I don't know. But either way, it's always been like that. I think this is BS. My opinion. I think that when the new compensation plan came out, which it came out in like May or June or something like that, because she's talking about over the summer, that she realized it's hurting her bank account. She's saying here that the reason is because people weren't able to be successful, like new people, and she wants new people to be able to be successful or people who aren't at the top to be successful. But Limelife's always been that way. And the income disclosure statement says it, like I mentioned. However, Bellamy doesn't have an income disclosure statement. So she can point at Limelife and go, see, I mean, their income disclosure statement tells me. But you always knew that, Jenny. And she can look at Bellamy and says, Bellamy doesn't, we don't have one yet. So I think this is a little more sneaky than I thought it was going to be. It's pretty sneaky.
So when I broke down the comp plan, when I saw the growth potential, when I talked to the CEO, at this point, we've spent about 8 hours on the phone. This is like FaceTime, Zoom calls on the phone, not to mention the, text and prayers and all the things, the support, the taking time out of her day to check on me, knowing that I'm in a really sucky spot and just like trying to figure out what my future looks like, meant a whole lot. And so I cannot even explain how excited I am. My excitement does not mean that my heart is not full blown broken. Like, let me be really MFing clear right now. My heart is broken. And I made the choice to break it. But I made the choice to break my own heart in all of this, to be able to stand in my own mission and stand in my own purpose, to be able to provide for my family and to be able to offer an opportunity to other women, moms, single moms, aunts, whatever it might be, that I know is worth their time. And if that means me walking away from an empire to be able to do that, then then it's 100% worth it.
She acts like she's walking away from an empire, but in reality, she's just going to build another one. a lot of people are going to leave with her. A lot of people. My guess, right? Obviously, I'm not for sure, but I would think that with what she's saying and acting as though Limelife's a terrible opportunity now, a lot of people are going to go with her. She's just going to build another empire at Bellamy. Come on. I mean, that's what she's going to do. She's sad, I'm sure, in some way, shape, or form, but I don't think she's as sad as she's putting herself out there to be. But obviously, I do think some of her emotions are real. I mean, 6.5 years, one company, lots of people, I do believe that would be very difficult. But it's hard when I see these things that are not consistent with what's actually true, and then see her get emotional and go, but wait a minute, you lied then, or that didn't make sense. Why are you so upset about it? Why are you saying this? Anyway, let's keep watching, I guess.
So, I want to also be really clear that I consider myself a really loyal person, but loyalty will never, at the end of the day, drive my mission.
A really loyal person will stay in one MLM their entire time. I don't see her as super loyal. Not that I don't think she's loyal at all. I just don't think she's as loyal as she thinks she is.
Or my next step. And I'm going into this company hoping that this is my last change, that I don't have to do this again. But I've also matured in, a way where I realize also that you never say never, because at the end of the day, what's most important to me is not being able to say that I've been with the company for 6.5 years, or, that I'm going to stick with this company through ups and downs no matter what. My loyalty is not to any company. My loyalty is to the people who choose me to be their mentor, the people who choose me to be their sponsor, like my family. That's where my loyalty lies. And as long as I know that I'm providing a really great opportunity for people who choose to join me, and I'm providing products that are worth it in terms of those purchasing and spending the money on those products, I sleep really good at night. And, I probably personally enrolled over 300 people with Lime Life. I had a team that peaked at about 8,000 people.
Forgive me if you think that I'm wrong and that you don't agree with me about this, but you were in it for 6.5 years and you personally enrolled only 300 people? Only 300 people. You personally enrolled only 300. How many of them stayed? Probably like 1%, maybe 2% of those 300. You personally enrolled 300 people and you ran it for 6.5 years. What's 12 times 6? 6 times 2 is bleh. That's many months. That's a lot of months. That's a lot of months. And you only enrolled 300 people? She's one of the top 5 legs in Lime Life, and she peaked at 8,000 people? That's a bit weird. I think that's kind of low. Some of you might be going, JulieJo, you're crazy. That's so many. But I know some people in other companies who have hundreds of thousands of people below them, and they're not even at the top 5. So, I don't know.
Our highest month was $3.5 million in sales, and it was an incredible run that I will forever be thankful for. And it taught me a lot. It taught me so much. And just because I'm salty over some things, just because my heart hurts over feeling like, the way things have transpired pushed me to have to make this choice, doesn't mean that I don't look at and see those great things that came from it. I've grown immensely. I've grown in ginormous steps. I'm a very coachable person and soak in everything that I can and move forward trying to help better people's lives. But I was given a heart that cannot show up in a way that I just can't fake shit at the end of the day.
I don't like that, because I think she's faking a lot of shit right now. I mean, I've already covered a lot of it, but I think that her whole bit about letting new people have a better opportunity or anything like that with anyone else, when she's saying she's thinking about other people doing this, right? I don't believe that. I do not believe that. I think it's about herself. Why? Because Lime Life has always had that opportunity that was bad for new people. It's always had a bad income disclosure statement. Always. And with the new compensation plan, I would think that actually might help people at the bottom a little more. And Bellamy doesn't even have an income disclosure statement, so red flags everywhere. I don't know. I can't pick up what she's putting down. I understand that what I'm doing as an anti-multi-level marketing video that this is, and she's a multi-level marketing leader. I try to say, okay, yeah, like, I can get that, or I can respect that, or I can do this. But I genuinely do not believe that that's what she's feeling. Again, it's my opinion. I'm not her. I'm not in her shoes. But logic just tells me otherwise.
Do not ever tell me if you need me to keep you this like big massive secret, if you need to be kept out of jail for something, if you accidentally like whatever ran this person's car off the bridge and you're trying to keep it a secret. This is not the person to tell. God did not give me that ability to lie, to tiptoe around the truth, or to go against what my heart tells me is right. And this isn't a money move. This isn't a like I'm trying to make myself wealthier, because at the end of the day, like, we can all be honest here. I just walked away from an empire to do this. I just walked away from an empire full of people that I love very much.
I get her emotion here. I think obviously it's valid. All emotions are. I don't think she's walking away from an empire that she cannot rebuild at another MLM. I think that maybe a little bit is, a top 5 leader of a company leaving and trying not to look like a jerk leaving. Like, she wants people to know that she didn't leave because of people. I'm having trouble kind of explaining where my mind is in this. I think she's putting on a show a little bit. I don't think all of it's a show. I do think a bit of it is a show, because she doesn't want people to think she's heartless and like didn't care about them, so that I think a lot of them will leave with her. But that's just my opinion.
To do this, because I think that it's the right choice. And I think that I still have a lot of lives to help impact, but I have to be where I truly believe I can make the most impact. So hopefully that came across better than my post the other day. With all of that being said, let's talk about a few products and then we'll hop off. I'll start, sharing these along the way. I had them all set up on my desk earlier, and my husband walked in and was like, "Oh, you got it all set up?" I was like, "I got it. I have 6.5 years worth of other pictures. Like, it's time to start sharing and showing these products." I've actually been wearing these products for the last 4 to 6 weeks. So no shade needing to be thrown by anyone trying to compare quality, because you might not even know which pictures was which. I will also say I sleep really well at night knowing that product quality and Limelife's products are incredible. There's a return guarantee for anybody who wanted to return it. So I feel like I've done no wrong there, but I had to make sure that I like these products. I had to make sure that they took pictures well. I had to make sure that they lasted through dinners and parties and all of the things. And I feel like I've done my due diligence and all of that research. So I'm really excited to share them with y'all. There's some differences though that I will say, like the skincare line. Let me show you a couple of these things. So this is the cleanser and the moisturizer. This is hydrating eye cream, and this is a hydrating serum. So one of the main differences is that these products have actual active ingredients in them. So hyaluronic acid and things like that. They're all infused with, it's actually clinical grade ingredients. And if you are somebody who's really invested in spending your money with natural ingredients, Limelife has a great skincare line for that. Even through this month, like, my link will remain open if there's anything you want to grab. After that, I've got a lot of people who would be happy to help you out moving forward. But personally, I inject my face with Botox and fillers. And it is who I am. I feel like my eyes have been open to the potential harm in a lot of ingredients. And I'm really thankful for that. But the ingredients in these, they follow European standards. So it's non-toxic.
European standards for us in America mean shit. And non-toxic, girl, stop. Don't even. It's interesting watching her try to like not get in trouble with Limelife or try to not diss on it too much, but also kind of, like also just like a little, like it's like a drop, but it's there, it's like a drop of red dye on a white shirt. Like, you're going to see it even if it's really small. So listen, we're almost done, hopefully she doesn't talk about the products the whole time, but just bear with me. Let's see if there's anything else that she has to say about it.
And I have been really surprised and thankful. Oh man, there's a couple things. Hang on. And surprised and excited, not even thankful, just excited to see how it continues to play out. So we have these collagen face masks here, which I'm not going to open, but they're actual sheet masks. And then there's this nighttime mask that is a dream. I actually keep this beside my bed now. It says to use it, I think it says 2 to 3 times a week. So I've had to pull myself back from using it nightly. So the skincare line is incredible. It also has, okay, I'm about to sound really stupid, really ignorant. You know, I wasn't raised in a house where we invested in high-end skincare. But my aunt and cousin, I'm going to call them out real quick, always did. They always had the best of the best in skincare. And there's a smell that comes with this. And I wish that I knew which actual ingredient it was, but it is whatever product they used to use that was in one of their high-end bottles that came from the high-end store. It's a similar smell. And when I first used it, it brought me back. You know, I don't know if y'all realize this or not, but senses, like your sense of smell is really connected with just like memories and happiness or not.
So what she's trying to do is to elude the illusion or to elude these products to high-end products. They're not. Neither is Lime Life, but she's trying to make sure that people think these are more high-end than Lime Life. What do y'all think? This is so interesting to watch her like leave little red drops on a big white t-shirt because you see it. You know, you're like, oh, there it is. There, I see it. I see it. But she's trying to hide the fact that she's not dissing Lime Life or like, you know, while she's still making money off of it.
But it was an immediate like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm 10 years old again, standing in my aunt's kitchen after she just got done doing her skincare routine. So I love that. And then, so the skincare line is amazing. There's a body line. So shower gel, lotion. This lotion does smell amazing. The shower gel smells similar. We have today I did the pink clay mask, which I have a picture to post for that. But it was, I mean, it made my skin feel incredible. I actually did this morning, left it on probably for longer than I should have. We have these rose glow eye masks. So this is like the little masks that go underneath your eye here.
Let's talk about something that I forgot to mention. First off, I am not against filler in any sense of the word. You do you, babe. You inject wherever. If you feel beautiful, I am so happy for you. For me, I might get a little lip filler soon. I don't know. We'll see. But I want to know how she can say, look at how amazing this face stuff is. Look how much younger it makes me look, right? Look at how amazing this makeup is and how smooth it goes on and blah, blah, blah. When she's using filler, and I have a feeling she's not pretty upfront with it every time she talks about how great the products are. And I see that in a lot of companies where, especially makeup and skincare, you know, they use filler and they do things for their face and get it professionally done and say, look at what these products have done for me. That's deception. That's deception. And same with like people in Monat when they're like, look how amazing my hair is. And they have like a bunch of extensions and stuff. It's like, girl, I see it. I see it. I know. You're not hiding it from anyone. But yeah, I just think it's kind of crappy, you know, to act as though these products are making your face amazing and beautiful because she is gorgeous and her skin looks amazing, but not saying that there are fillers to go along with it. Like, I don't think, even though she said it here, I doubt that she has made it extremely apparent while selling Lime Life.
All of this is cruelty-free, paraben-free, gluten-free, all the good stuff. Well, all the bad stuff not in there. This is the original primer that I use that I was not expecting to sell me. But they also have an illuminating primer. So this is the mattifying primer, the illuminating primer, depending on what look you want. So this definitely gives like a glow. It actually has a glow in it, like just a little bit of a shimmer. But it gives a little bit more of a moisturized, dewy look. And this one, obviously, is mattifying. So depending on what look you want, you would choose your primer based on that. I called myself out the other day to a friend who, you know, tried the products as well before joining, and we were just talking about which primer we like best. And I was like, I've got to where I mix them. And then she's like, you're literally like taking away the benefits of each of them. Like, if you want a dewy look, do the illuminating one. If you want a mattifying look, do the mattifying primer. You like, by mixing them, you're pulling. So anyways, there's that. So the foundation is a liquid foundation, and it's also infused with vitamins A, B, C, E, and F, or something like that. I have to go back and double check, but it also has hyaluronic acid in the foundation, and the concealer is also a liquid concealer. So I've even mentioned a little bit, like, it's okay, you know, Lime Life has a great foundation, but I have mentioned even within the last 2 or 3 years ago that I would love to have a liquid foundation. So I'm so excited to have that opportunity now and actually apply it with a brush and all the good stuff. So in addition to the makeup and skincare, the body line, we also have collagen and these Hydra Boost packets. So let me give you a little background on these Hydra Boost packets. I can't think of the actual name. I always just call them Liquid IV. Yeah, Liquid IV is what I call it. But it's these packets that I get off of Amazon. They're also sold in stores. But I use them for hangovers. I also use them when I just don't drink enough water and stuff like that. So when I saw these Hydra packets on their website, I was like, well, hot dang, like I could be selling these because I use the heck out of those others. And so I was really excited.
Let's skip through here and see if anything else happens.
I'm excited to start adding that stuff in. And then I don't know how much I can really say, so I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but y'all look, like this is my nervousness. I don't know if it's nervousness or the wine, but it's calling me out right now. I don't know how much I can say, so I'm not going to go into details, but there's a few other products that are coming really soon that I got to see the bottles for and hear the formulation for. That's not skincare, not makeup.
Ooh, I bet homegirl, I really think that she does have a bridge contract. I mean, again, it's not solidified, it's alleged, but just from how she's talking about being able to see all the new stuff, and I don't know, I think she does.
Not collagen. And I am so excited to be here in the launch of those, branching out into other areas. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. There's a ton of other products over here that I didn't share or talk about. I've had a couple weeks once this decision was really fully made of just like diving in and trying to learn all the things. But one thing that I've learned and what I've always told, team members as they've joined me is that your network doesn't expect you to show up being a professional on every single thing in the new line that you just joined. So I hope that y'all will stick around and learn along with me. I am really honest in all of my reviews. Even when I first joined Limelight, there were some things that I would just like be really honest about. Like, this is what it felt like going on. I'm doubting. And then I would share like what it ended up looking like. So it'll be the same concept. We'll learn together.
What's so funny about those kinds of things is they're not completely honest. They're not. I mean, she's not going to say a product sucks or that a non-MLM product is better than that MLM product. She's just not, especially as someone who is going in as a top leader. There's no way.
Even more so for those who are excited about this potential new opportunity. Say what you want, do what you want. But I had a lot of people that said, I wish I would have joined you in the beginning when you first joined Limelight. So I'm going to just plug that there, and then you can do what you want with it. But there's a lot of momentum. My little old team has already sold over $11,000, and we are rocking and rolling. And it is worth it in the end for me to start over fresh, to know that what I'm offering is 100% going to be worth it to those who choose to take a chance with it and give it their all. So I'm so excited about the future. I hope you are too. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will talk to y'all later.
Okay, so what's your thoughts? Edit your comments if you need to. There's just so much going through my head. Oh, and we're going to have to look into Bellamy too, because I don't know. Are they doing bridge contracts? Ooh, that would be interesting. What are the new products? Are they going into wellness? I have a feeling that it's wellness. You know what I mean? They say beauty from the inside out. It just makes sense. But if you were in Bellamy or Lime Life or not in either or whatever, let me know your experience. I would love to hear it. What was your experience in MLM? Thank you for sitting through this. I know it might not be the most entertaining thing ever, but I think it's important to watch these transitions as these top leaders have, why they leave, kind of call out the little things in between that are like, oop, that's deceptive. Oop, that doesn't line up with this, and have that discussion. Thanks for being here. I hope you have the most amazing morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe wherever you are in the world, whenever you're watching. I'll see you next time.
Show you what I'm all about. Make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about yours.